Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make whipped body butter with only 2 to 3 ingredients. The third one is only by choice. If you choose to use it, you do not have to. Okay, so welcome to my channel. My name is Janie and let's get started. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make whipped body butter to get your small business started if you want to start one, or even just for yourselves or to give as a gift. Okay, so whipped body butter is it's body butter, but it's just whipped where it's more fluffy, more smooth. It's just, and you can add other stuff to it too and everything. But today I'm going to show you guys how to make them with only 1 to 2 ingredients. 2 ingredients. I'm sorry, 2 ingredients. You could choose to use the third one if you want to, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay, but I will tell you guys what the third one is for when we get to that step. Okay, so body butter obviously needs butter. So the types of butters that you can use is mango butter, shea butter, cocoa butter. I do use 2 of them. I do not use mango butter. I haven't really worked with it, so I'm not really familiar with like how mango butter works, which it probably works like every other butter, but I haven't worked with it, so I'm not gonna really talk about that one today. But I have used cocoa butter, which this is the cocoa butter that I use to make it. It's just, cocoa butter. I got the wafers. So I use the cocoa butter, and it's the organic one. So it's like more natural. So I got the organic so that it won't have like anything extra for people, to have any allergic reactions or anything. So, okay. So the next one that I use is shea butter. I do use African shea butter. Please excuse the messy way I have it. I do have it on a plate because it is oily, because it is butter, and it is very moisturizing, and it constantly stays moisturized. Like, it's constantly just oily and everything because it's very moisturizing, so it stays smooth. Okay, so I use the African shea butter, the 100% natural. I did get it on Amazon. I also forgot to say the cocoa butter, I also did get this on Amazon. I did get the organic one, and the shea butter. The reason I got the African shea butter 100% natural is because I wanted the most natural shea butter, and since it is created in Africa, it's the most natural butter there is, because you don't want anything extra in there. Okay, now mango butter too, you could also choose to use mango butter if you choose to. You do not have to. Okay, so you're gonna need the butters. And then now with the oils. Now the oils, you could choose to put any type of oil. I will give the amounts here in a little bit. So I'm going to tell you guys which type of oils you guys can use. You can use, basically, you're going to need butters and you're going to need oils. Okay. So now the types of oils that I use is avocado oil. I do use avocado oil. So, so I get the cold and everything, the cold pressed, and I get the glass bottle because it's the more natural one. I don't like to get the plastic bottle ones because they're not, I don't like, the plastic is not good. So I get the glass because I feel it's preserved better and it doesn't have anything mixed into it. You could also use jojoba oil. Some people say jojoba oil, jojoba oil. Okay, so those are the 3 that I'm sorry, I missed one. I got one that I used that I did recently start using, and people are really liking this one. And the reason I started using this one is because I know that people kind of sometimes struggle with aches and pains. And I came up with this one because I haven't really seen it much, but I did come up with this one, and I just started adding this oil, and I have not gotten any complaints yet. So I'm gonna show you guys this one. I did get the organic hemp oil. That is something that I have been adding to my body butters recently. So you can add that if you want. You do not have to. You could choose whichever oil you want. You could choose grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil. You can choose sesame oil. You guys can use whichever oil you want, just not like vegetable oil. Don't do that. Vegetable oil. Oh, coconut oil. You can also add coconut oil. If you want it to be a little bit more firm, you can use coconut oil. Like, let's say you use the butters and then you choose to use coconut oil as the oil that you're going to add to the whipped body butter. That will give it more sturdiness, like if you decide to make a design, like when they pipe it into the jar, like when it's piped into the jar and everything, it's like if you're piping it with a design, you are going to want to do, you know, something that's a little bit more sturdier, which you can add more butter also to make it like thicker, make it more sturdier. But the way I'm going to show you guys is, though I'm going to tell you guys and everything, it's also going to be okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab 8 ounces of butter and 4 to 6 ounces of oil. Now, if you want it more sturdier and everything, and you want it just to be a little bit more firm, you will do more butter and less oil. Okay, so you will do 8 ounces of butter, and you could do 4 ounces of oil. Or you could do 8 ounces of butter and then 6 ounces of oil, and it'll just be more smoother, like to where you could grab it and it'll just be really, really smooth. Now, whipped body butter will melt to the touch of your skin. The thing is, it's like you scoop up a little bit, it will be a little bit firm, you'll scoop it up a little bit and everything, but a very little bit goes a long way because it is oils and it is butters, so it will spread so smoothly. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you are going to take both of the ingredients. You're gonna take the 8 ounces. I'm gonna do the 4 ounces. Let's say the 4 ounces. 8 ounces of butter, and then you're gonna take the 4 ounces of oil. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna melt them together. You're gonna double boil it, which you're gonna put a small pot, and then put like a bowl over it, and then basically take the small pot, put a little bit of water into it. Don't put too much. Then you're gonna take a bowl. You're gonna put over the pan and everything, or the pot. And then you're gonna turn on very low heat. You're gonna put your 8 ounces of butter and you're gonna let that melt. So you're gonna let that until it melts. As soon as it melts, then you can add your oil in there and then mix it, take it off, you're ready, put it in the fridge or put it in the freezer, let it get a little bit hard, let it get at least halfway solidified. As soon as it's halfway solidified, I'm not gonna tell you exactly how long it takes because every refrigerator and every freezer freezes either colder or less, or I can't even get into that right now because I know that some freeze faster, some like more cold, some are more cold than other ones. Okay, so I'm not even gonna give you a time frame. It could be about an hour, it could be half an hour, 45 minutes, but I know it's not gonna take over an hour. So basically keep an eye on that and everything. You don't want to let it get completely solidified because otherwise, if you let it get completely hard, you will not be able to blend it. You will not be able to do the next step. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it out, you're gonna grab your blender, your beater, and like the one that you make your cake with. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix it. You're just gonna keep mixing it. You just keep mixing it until it's really, really whipped. Now, when it's really, really whipped and fluffy, it's ready. Now, you can choose to add this next step. I am gonna give you guys okay, so the arrowroot, I choose to put arrowroot because it's a very, very fine powder. Now, the body butter is very oily, so because of how oily it is, it will stay shiny and oily on the skin. Now, if you don't want it to be too much of that, you put the arrowroot. So for the amount that you're gonna do is 8 ounces of butter and then 4 ounces of oil. You could put a spoon to a spoon and a half, like a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of arrowroot. Mix it in also with the beater, as you know, when it's all fluffed up, or you could even do it before. You can add it to when you're melting it, or you can add it to like basically whenever you want, as long as it's added. That is gonna help the oil not be too oily. So, and it's not gonna be too oily on the skin after it dries because your skin will absorb it. It will go down. But if you wanted to do it just a little bit faster, you will add the arrowroot, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, and that will help get rid of that. So that is basically how the body butter is made. The whipped body butter with only 2 ingredients. The third one is just by choice if you want to. If you don't want to, you could try both ways and see which one you like best. So what you're gonna do is once it's done like that, once you already whipped it and it has like where you pick up I'm so sorry, kind of tired. Where you pick up the beater, So when you pick up the beater and everything, it has like a little peak and it keeps that shape. It's ready. So you can choose, you can either add it, just put it into your jar, and then make sure that the jar has a seal on there to where it will keep it from drip. Let's say you like leave it in your car by accident in the summer and it melts. You don't want it to spill everywhere. So you want a sealable lid, jars, little containers and everything that have that will seal liquid in. Okay, also, if you guys choose to do this and everything, you guys could do it, but then if you guys want to add color, you guys could add color. If you guys want to add a scent, I only showed you guys how to do it the more natural way, which is only 2 to 3 ingredients. And if you guys want it to have colors, you guys can basically, after you're beating it, if you want to have more than one color, you separate half and half, and then you put the color, basically, I'll show you guys in the next video, but in one of my next videos. So you guys could choose, you guys could do everything else after, but this is the easiest way. This is the more natural way, and it's like no chemicals, no so basically no color, no scents, no nothing else. Okay, so it's just basically the main ingredients that whipped body butters usually have and that are needed for the skin, for it not to have any reactions, for like, let's say people who have eczema, or people who like, you know, break out very easily, or people who just have really, really sensitive skin. You don't want to add all this extra stuff. So the more natural, the better, right? So just the butters and the oils. Now, if you want to add the arrowroot, I've never heard anybody have an allergic reaction with this. So yeah, I would kind of recommend putting the 1.5 teaspoons of the arrowroot powder. It is a very, very fine powder, so that it won't be so shiny like as they're putting it on. It'll help like the smoothness and go in a lot smoother. So hope you guys liked this video. Hope it was helpful. Get out there, start your small business, because it's actually not that hard. It's actually 2 ingredients. 2 ingredients. That's like, how easy is that? Okay, so just get started. Don't be afraid to get started. Go out there, start your small business, or give it as a gift. And I will see you guys next time.